Hey, welcome. My name is Jason Toniolo. I'm with Amazing Vacations USA, and I am joined today by Astrubal and Walter, who are in Costa Rica. Walter is with Amazing Vacations Costa Rica, one of our partners down there, and then Astrubal is with the INA, which stands for, if you want to translate it into English, is the National Learning Institute. And the reason I wanted to have him join us today is he has been instrumental in helping to basically set up the programs that are being used and implemented throughout Costa Rica to train guides. So if you're thinking of traveling to Costa Rica, you're thinking of coming on an adventure vacation, one of the things I know for me and my family when I travel down there, I want to know that we're going to be safe and that that we're going to have a good experience. And what is just really impressed me about Costa Rica is they actually have an entire group of people in the government that's set up to work directly with the different tourism companies down there to go in. They can even do assessments and find out what they need. But they have several programs where they specifically focus on, whether it's rappelling or ropes courses or guiding on the river, all of these adventure tourism things that Costa Rica is so well known for. He specifically is helping to write that education program and teach others throughout the country, so that there's a consistent thing there. So, Azrubal, thank you so much for joining. Did I get that right? Anything I messed up on that introduction?
Thank you, Jason and Walter. Everything it's true. I'm part of the INA Institute of or Learning Institute of Costa Rica. I have around 10 years working there. It's a pleasure talking with you guys.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about your background. I think one of the things I know when it comes to like somebody trying to teach others, having knowledge of that background in being a guide, and tell us about your how you got started being a guide, and then you became a teacher, and tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay. Basically, all my life I do some sports, but not regular sport, and I'm always looking for something more. I start studying physical education, but you feel that it's not enough, and I start to try with ropes in a climbing place, that teaching that kind of skills. But one of the guides in that place, they told me, "Hey, tomorrow we go to do rafting." And I say, "Oh, that can be nice, huh? You want to join us?" Yeah, of course. But the first experience with guides was in Pascua section with one good friend of mine called Mario de la O,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like my first big experience whitewater, and actually that liked it a lot. And I say, "Hey, how can trying this, or how can I do this?" And they say, "Hey, just come to the river and paddle, and when you're ready, be a guide." And that's what I do. But I have a different perception about how you need to training, because I started teaching physical education or sports, and I saw that, it's a good way to learning, training like that,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe that can be a little more formal, and try to do more specific things. And it's when I start to thinking in do something between the adventure tourism with teaching. Uh, After that, I be a guide. I really like that job. I like the sports, and I start to training with the national team in rafting. That that be my best school in rafting is I paddling with incredible guides, experienced guides, strong guides, and that made me a really good sense of what is rafting, what we have to do, what we have to know, and now I'm here in the English
Awesome.
after a few years. See.
And what? tell me a little bit about the different programs. So I know you have like rafting certifications, and there's a certification that's going to be implemented. You mentioned here it was going to be implemented this year, but with the COVID crisis, it kind of changed things. What are some of the certifications that they're requiring all guides to have here in a couple of years throughout the country if you want to even work as a guide to make sure people are safe and have a good experience?
Well, we have a lot of programs in different activities of tourism. Basically, we have a main two programs that is the tourist guide that can work in around country or just in local areas because Costa Rica is divided in areas, in conservation areas. And for each area, we have a kind of guide that can be specialized there. But in the last years, the government tried to give or make more strong the tourist activity, and they made laws and new rules, and there is when come from the new programs of the institute. The idea was keep the adventure activity separately for the regular tourist activity, and they make or they do in his laws that the guide that working in adventure tourism have his own programs. And for that reason, now we have a separate program for rafting guides that include basic things about tourism, about the laws that make that the tourists be right, and also ethic things. Plus the first aid and CPR courses that everybody or any kind of guide have to get in his curriculum. And also the INA when do the programs, they talking with the companies and talking with guides and people that is involved in the activity, and all that information try to put in the programs. And we have or that information give us like four courses. That is the prevention, any kind of emergencies, specialized in rafting activities with rivers and all kind the the disaster that can happen, a natural disaster, or inclusive the regular situation that can happen in the activity of rafting. The second course is rescue. We saw it all the skills that have to do with ropes and swimming in swift water, and all the things. And the other course is how you have to handle the the raft first of all, and after people. And the idea is give opportunity to the students that work with some company. And the last course, they have to looking for a company and do some hours and some descents in rivers. Forget the program or get the end of the program. That happened in rafting, that happened in ropes, that happen in activities that have to do with cross some distance, like horseback riding or mountain biking, hiking. And also, we have other little courses, no programs, that you can be specialized, like in canyoning, flat waters, like SUP, ocean kayak, or all those activities that now it's doing in Costa Rica in floodwaters, horseback riding. Well, and we have a lot of courses too that complementaries of the activity, like naturalism, birds, is the amphibious, reptiles, a lot of things.
And now, Struble, so I know you mentioned you've traveled around the world and actually, been to Colombia and some other places teaching other countries about how to do the training and implement that right. What would you say is different about Costa Rica compared to some of these other countries that you visited or helped to give some guidance to?
Well, we have, and I think we have a really, really big difference between the other countries because in Costa Rica, we can run rivers December to December. Every day, every time that we want it, and that make that our guides be a really, really, really safe that they know really good rivers, the rapids. Uh, I don't know if everything is okay with the signal, Jason.
We're okay. Yep, it's we got a little bit of background noise.
Okay.
It sounds like you got a chicken maybe back behind you, a rooster, and but other and somebody's working in the kitchen, but it's okay. So
Okay. And well, we're talking about difference between the activities that we do between countries. So that make that in Costa Rica our guides are really professionals with the skills, and make a little bit of conscious that they have to work in really well because it's a everyday job. Other countries is a seasons jobs, or it's not a permanently job, and that make that people don't take serious the activity. Also, if you have a short seasons, it's harder. Try to give some capacitación, some capacity, some courses
right.
for for teach the guide because it's not enough time in Costa Rica. We have all year to do this. We have high season, low season, and that make a little bit better. But the big difference is that one. The other one course is that the government in Costa Rica have long time tried to pushing for the license or for the credential for guides, and that makes some pressure to the owners of company that try to give capacitation to the guides,
Mm-hmm.
and that make a better level. But in Latin American, we have we have a really good levels of guides, but the problem is they don't understand that have to be totally professionals.
Got it.
When they working, when they learning, they have to looking every day for better courses for have better skills, and that's the main thing. But in Costa Rica, our guides have that big difference that we can run that river every day.
And Walter, I've got a question for you. Maybe so you're running the company down there, and you're the guides. What's kind of been the reception, and I mean, what's your take on these certifications and what they're doing with the teaching and trying to have the consistency throughout Costa Rica for all tourism?
See, Jason, thank you, Druel. This has been an interesting process. Why? Because from be guiding all year round, as you know, at some point someone come and tell you, hey, you have to start studying right now because you need a license. And if you think about like, oh, okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Now I have to leave my work to do the study, and then no, come on. So yeah, at the beginning it was something like that. So we were all like kind of like shocked, like what are we gonna do? But we were lucky that someone like a Druel and the other teachers that were there, they know about how we do it and what we need to. So we started doing this like certification process, and this COVID has been helping because right now we have time to study, and we just get on the call with Azruel to get the kind of like a test about knowledge. So they're doing that to guys that they already have experience, which is awesome because they're helping us in this process. And as I said, the COVID is be helping. So we're almost done with that. Hopefully soon we'll have our license. But in general, there was a little resistance, as any other change in everything. There's always resistance. But in terms of um, of how important is this, I'm sure this is going to be a huge, important change of turning the guys professional. I was a river guy for a while, and I didn't have any license or anything to the government. And we are we have ACA certifications, we have Sierra Rescue, we have, all international certifications that you use to work in different countries. But in Costa Rica, it didn't work, right? So right now we have our own institute who come and teach us with good teachers, with people who knows what they're going to teach. So this is super important process,
I,
and honestly, we're very happy with that.
I think it's just so interesting that you can pretty much go be an adventure guide, or if I want to go teach rock climbing, or I want to go teach kayaking, I can pretty much just go do it. And yes, there's the certifications there, but in Costa Rica, having it be required to be a guide, I think to have that training. If I'm traveling now from the United States or Canada or wherever it is I'm coming from, I've got a more confidence that I'm going to have somebody who's actually going to be safe. Just because a lot of the places, especially if you're on the river, you can be very remote, and I want somebody who has training and knows what to do in an emergency. So. Anyway, I just wanted to share this quick interview. I think American travelers are super excited to be coming down to Costa Rica. The borders are opening up now, and I think you guys down there are ready to have travelers as well, and just super excited. But if you are thinking of coming down to Costa Rica, it is a phenomenal place for, there are so many amazing companies down there that can help you and put together all kinds of different types of vacations. I know Walter, your team down there does a great job, but there's just so many throughout the country that the reputation that Costa Rica has for United States travelers is very high, and the secret's kind of getting out, which should hopefully come back and benefit all of you. So. Guys, thanks so much for taking time to chat with me, and I appreciate it. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you're finding this a little bit helpful as you're planning or trying to decide if you want to come to Costa Rica with your family or with your group. Thanks.
Good idea.